On today's show, it's the aftermath of Rampage. We go over the long road to the finals of the PGS and the showdown between Acclaim EmpireX and IPT. All the events, all the cosplay, that's number one. Number two, the AEX brand of metagame is diverse and crazy.
Great.
Is it a flash in the pan, or does it mean that the local metagame is evolving? We break down the thinking behind such hits as top lane Morgana and the mid lane Nami. All these and more on the Gauntlet, and it starts right now. I'm Pao Bago, your host, and I'm joined every week by our co-hosts, Marco De Leon, who's wearing the banana tie of
Hello.
shame.
I am here. Yes. I don't know how I got this. Just I woke up. It was on my head.
Oh,
it's a banana bandana.
A banana.
Banana. Yeah. Whatever. One of those.
I mean, someone said last week that they thought IPT was going to win 3-1.
Yeah. Who's that? Who's that though?
Yeah, I mean, you called it already, IPT first, so
Boo.
rigged,
Oh my
confirmed.
God. Boo.
Yeah, I'm just saying, do you like winning?
Esports champion
Champ is here.
with the belt
Come
of
on.
power. The belt's
Come
upside
on.
down, I think.
Come on.
It's like the setup for the epic.
Do you like
Oh,
anime? Do you like the underdog?
I also like not
Beating.
getting yelled at.
The underdog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all I know is that he's the former esports champion now.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, it definitely is. Also, we're joined by Juabe, also our co-host. With,
Also, the champ.
I mean, you do have a really. It's one of those things where when you're a champion, you just don't care about the shirt.
No,
The shirt's
yeah.
tacky.
I
but
don't
the
even know how
belt's
to
all
wear
that
this
matters.
thing.
He's Carlito.
He's
It's what it is.
Carlito
It's what it
Caribbean
is.
cool. He just doesn't care anymore. But all that matters is the victory. AEX winning over against IPT. We're gonna talk about that right now. But first, some of the highlights from that event. Esports Illustrated was at Rampage.
We here. Oh, we
We
there.
there. Check it out.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. We're dreaming
The
in
event was huge.
Oh, definitely.
Ginormous.
Rampage, Garena's premier event. Also, the host for the League of Legends local finals was amazing. It had 14,000 attendance.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In the World
It's
Trade
over
Center?
9,000.
Well, technically it is over 9,000. Up
Yes.
from 13,000
Yeah,
last year.
at the World Trade Center. That was an amazing event. What do you guys think overall?
I mean, I loved the event. I mean, the games were fine.
Yeah,
I
the games
hated
were
the
awesome.
floor because the floor was sticky because of all the energy.
It
drinks.
wasn't
was
lava, but it was very
Too much
sticky.
esports liquids.
Yeah, the floor wasn't lava, but it was
But it was
definitely
damn
some unknown liquid.
Yeah.
But the atmosphere was great. It's the one event during the year when
It was
the
one
leagues-
day though.
It is. It
I
was.
mean,
It was.
I was impressed that they packed a lot of things into one day, but I feel they could have stretched that out to two.
Oh, definitely. I mean, for esports events, it's not uncommon to have, over 2 weeks for a group stage finals.
Yeah. I just mean, like, they had DJs, they had a rock concert.
Oh,
Yeah,
I could have used less with.
about that. Like, what do you guys think about that? Because the Rampage looked a lot like a variety show of sorts with the music and the celebrities,
That's
and
true.
then the games in between.
That's true. I mean, I knew what they were going for because
Yeah.
it was one event during the year, but I could have used less of that and just
Yeah,
more
I mean
of
it's
the
all
games.
fun and games, but I want more games, and
That's true.
Yeah.
How did you find the games though?
the games were exciting as hell. They were just, I don't know, man. You don't even see this kind of risk taking in the bigger league, so it was
Yeah.
refreshing.
That's true. That is true. At least it's something we can talk about later on in the show.
Yeah.
But definitely a lot of things to learn from that weekend. But we do have to talk about one big announcement. though.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
The big
So
one.
at Rampage,
Yes.
if you didn't know, Garena announced the beginning, the spring split for the PGS on January 2017. The announcement that every pro player in the PGS will receive a player's salary
Money.
of 15,000 pesos.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank
Finally,
you.
and that is on top of that is independent of their player contracts with their
Amazing.
respective
Mhm.
teams. So what do we think about this, gents?
Personally, I love it. Like, I love that finally pro players are going to have a decent amount of money for their play.
Right.
And not only that, what I like more is that Garena will be the ones directly paying them. Now, I'm not naming names or saying anything, but it's better for me, I think, for the organization to pay directly to the players rather than passing it to the organization first. Cause
Oh, you mean
they're-
like the big organization? Because you said organization twice. I'm
all
just-
right.
Right. Like so
Individual
the
team
individual
management
team
is what you
management.
mean.
Well, I mean, you're not naming names, but I'm saying it. All right. in
Oh.
the past, we've had teams, we've had players come
You
to
know
us.
who you are, though.
Yeah, they've come to us, saying that they get paid like something less than 5,000 pesos
Oh.
Yeah.
per month for playing the games, and sometimes some teams have deducted, the cost of rental on their PC when they're practicing. I mean, what's the point of a
And
sponsorship?
here's what you
Yeah.
earned, and here's what you owe us. So
And
So
get like,
enjoy.
okay, this is
enjoy
not
your
much.
cornetos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But and in the past, we've also heard allegations, and by allegations I mean, that's why we're not naming them because we haven't, fingered exactly who it was.
I don't
But
want to
players-
finger exactly who. it was.
Exactly, but players have come to us to say that sometimes in the course of doing their pro player duties, they've even been asked to get coffee, get their
Yeah.
laundry,
Make me
indentured
food.
servitude.
While you're at the pro gaming thing, get me coffee.
All right.
And while you're at it, I want pictures.
Pictures of Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's above and beyond what they're supposed to be doing as players. So hopefully, the money is going to be here to at least make their lives a little easier. I mean,
Yeah.
in the end, we just want better.
No,
games.
but as for me, I think it's just about time that we've had this. It's not even a new thing because we're
definitely,
really
yeah.
behind on this. Other regions have been having salaries as early as 2013. So
Definitely, it's something. As we found out, it is right mandated
Yeah,
that
it's-
Garena finally do this.
it's the very first step to legitimizing
Oh,
esports in this country, and it gives more amateur players incentive to go like,
Right.
oh, there's a carrot at the end of the stick. I want to work hard to make it big in esports.
Definitely.
And players would finally focus much more on honing their play and becoming better
Yes.
players than thinking, what am I gonna eat tomorrow?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we have to be intellectually honest, right? The money isn't just a guarantee that they're going to be better, the leagues are going to be better, the games are going to be better. It's not a guarantee. There are different things in play. I mean, some leagues have developed just because they have a culture where they want to be the best. But in the context of the Philippines, where, life can get pretty hard for these players, the money is certainly a burden off their minds.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's definitely great, and it'll probably usher in a new era, at least in the way we think and approach the way League of Legends
Definitely.
professional league play happens in the Philippines. But speaking new eras, come on, AEX won last weekend.
Okay.
First team from the Visayas to
Okay,
win.
fine.
Yes.
It was
Fine.
crazy, sue me, all right?
All right.
And they did it in style too. They were macking on everyone. It was stylish.
Superfly.
It was
class.
Superfly. It's a very stylish win. All of these crazy picks. We got to talk about that. We talked to top laner Cannon, their team captain of Acclaim EmpireX, and all he said was that he's raring to go, ready to unleash all his crazy onto the GPL, which
Yeah.
begs the
Oh
question
boy.
though.
Mm-hmm.
Does this mean that the Philippine teams are starting to think about League of Legends in a new way? Or does it mean that it's only AEX doing this and it's a flash in the pan? Because you gotta remember, one of the big enduring criticisms of the PGS, of Philippine League of Legends, was that it was never fully developed. It hasn't fully matured in a way that we're thinking of our own strategies, our own approaches to the game.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Because it's always been our teams picking up strategies from the NALCS, the EULCS, picking it up that Monday, and then applying it on the Friday completely out of context. That's why you don't see lane swaps.
Yeah.
I mean,
we
they
go
tried
here
lane
and then-
swaps
What?
in the Philippines and they lost because it doesn't apply here, you know?
Which
And-
buttons do we press on this model?
Exactly,
Yeah.
you know, what do?
Yeah.
It's not perfect system, right?
Right.
So what's your take on it, gentlemen? I want to know.
Well, okay. No, we have had some creative teams before. We've had your Cerberus, your
Yeah.
Naga.
Right.
But in terms of your top teams, we have Mineski and IPT. You said it. They were a second-rate version of your standard metagame from other regions. What I like about AEX is they've taken time to look at the context of local League of Legends and figured out, like, okay, what can we do to take this down specifically, right?
Right.
I mean, with their more aggressive style, you could say that it's very LPL-like. I mean, the classic LPL.
Right. Aggression.
Yeah. But then with the LPL, it's like, can you really be aggressive when everyone is?
That's true.
But with AEX, you know, they seem to have found that silver bullet that can take down the werewolf that is the local scene.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But can a silver bullet still kill a mummy or a vampire if you bring it outside, right?
That's true.
There's no one formula that's gonna beat everyone.
That's true, and I guess it's for me. It's more that I'm happy that we're seeing a team like AEX focus on their mechanical abilities. You know, just the baseline. They know how to play League of Legends,
Mhm.
but then they're also not afraid to pick things in context. Because that's the one thing people don't understand about getting better, right?
Yeah.
You need to focus and then apply, right? It's
Mhm.
not just spamming games on the strongest champion you've seen outside. Yeah, that's gonna bring you up to a certain level, but it doesn't actually improve your knowledge of the game.
Yeah.
But with
Yeah.
them, they had an idea. You know what? Instead of mid Lulu, we'll pick up mid Nami, more team disengages,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we can empower our bot lane. And then they use it. So it's a good thing that they're picking more in context.
Yeah, and speaking of like the standards, the invokes, the what's popular in the other regions, for IPT that worked for the past few splits, but now it was actually the thing that made them lose, because they were so stubborn on doing this quote unquote standard style, this usual style of the international meta, that when something weird or off ball came at them, they didn't know what to do. They fell back on their usual behavior and then started standard picks, standard bans, even if those bans weren't the ones that AEX was using. We're using.
Right.
And it's just such as we saw Tamsu, he kept getting Zac.
Right.
And
And the
yeah.
entire split, he's been using Zac
Yeah,
the entire
yeah.
pick.
If they noticed that AEX was winning by using Zac, maybe they should have banned it
That's true.
and
That's
forced
true.
him to pick another champion.
Yeah, it really feels like they were just banning just for the sake of banning. It
They
wasn't
did
targeted.
ban the Twitch though.
But
That's
there's
true, but that was after they got destroyed in game
Oh,
two, so
yeah.
it was a very reactive ban at that point.
So
I
they
mean,
let AEX play their own game until they were like, oh no, they're playing their
Oh,
own game.
wow.
it was a
what's
bit
this
too late.
game?
I mean, by game three, they kind of deviated away from their own, right?
Mhm.
They started picking up Gangplank for JLC,
Mhm.
Yeah.
a champion he hasn't used well in the past, right? Just so that they can have a three-core setup
Yeah.
on their lineup to beat out wherever Tamsu is ganking. And yes, they did win convincingly in that game.
Yeah.
And then
But that also showed you that they sort of fell into the trap of AEX, where
Yeah.
we've been playing our game this way.
But suddenly,
Suddenly, though,
suddenly.
that's true. Suddenly, Gen V.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about that. The games against IPT, Gen V coming up big.
Yeah.
Traditionally, in the split, the weakest member of AEX.
But now, the Gen VP.
Oh, okay. Well,
No,
strike
but
one.
okay.
This is a no meme zone. Okay.
Okay.
But that is a good point. Gen V, traditionally, oh my god, the weakest member of the split, right? The entire split, they were relying on Tamsu.
Yeah.
The one player with the highest kill participation in
the angriest
PGS.
jungler.
It's over 70.
Over 70% in kill participation. You'd think that a team in the finals would just capitalize on their strengths. So everyone thought that was gonna be on the back of Tomsu that they pick up their wins.
Mhm.
But it turned out to be the entire roster was gearing their drafts on Gen V. What's your take on that?
Okay. We've talked a lot about their games. I mean their play style. But what I want to focus on is they're willing to take these risks because they have a hunger to succeed. I mean, first team from outside of Manila to
Right,
get
that's
this
true.
far.
Mhm.
I mean, they're focused. They're just really hungry. They're just like their country. You know, they're young, they're scrappy, they're hungry.
They're scrappy and hungry.
Yeah, they're not gonna waste their shot, right?
I mean, they did it with the Justana, you know. But
Yeah.
would you say that they'll never be satisfied?
Yeah, never.
They'll never be satisfied, and they're just waiting for the GPL. You know.
Yeah, there's
a
a million things they haven't done,
but
but just you wait.
just
just
you.
do
I
it,
don't
yeah.
think. I don't know if we have to get the rights.
I'm not sure what's happening.
Or I don't. Well, it's
Nope.
Hamilton. We'll educate your butt later, but
Yeah.
But I mean, they needed more tricks up their sleeve. Definitely. I mean,
Yes.
Tomsu was a known quantity.
And it
coming in.
didn't seem like a trick. They really planned it.
It feels that way. Again, the mid Nami, just a reflection that they were going for the bottom lane.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your take on that, Juabe?
Yeah, speaking of tricks off their sleeve, AX knew that their bag of tricks or surprises or strange tactics is gonna run out soon. And leading up to the finals, they needed that one final ace up their sleeve. That one thing that may be the clincher that will net them the win. And everybody knew that Tamsu was gonna be the big carry, or they're gonna have these weird picks such as the mid Nami or the top lane Morgana. But they went even further, and then look, suddenly, Gen V, the one player that everybody thought would be like, oh, he's gonna drag the team down. Nope, he just
definitely
right
came
click
up
his
big.
way to victory.
Probably the MVP of that final series too.
Yeah.
Definitely putting it on his back. I mean, by the fourth game, you know, they were repelling. They were down what? 3 inhibitors,
Mhm.
1 Nexus started, 2 Elder Dragons, and 2 Barons.
They had
somehow,
nothing. They had nothing.
somehow, Gen V
The
just
chips are
dragging-
down, your back is against the wall.
Are you going with lyrics again? Because you gotta let me know.
No.
All right. Well,
No.
but yeah, Gen V, dragging them across the finish line.
Yes.
You know, at one point, Light on the LeBlanc, who was just destroying every lane
Yeah.
in the early game, backed off away from Gen V. Just gonna shoot us.
Yeah, excellent positioning in team fights to get the resets on Tristana. I don't know. IPT couldn't deal with it later in the game when it was a full 5v5.
Yeah, suddenly Lights LeBlanc were like getting, ouch, it hurts, it hurts.
It hurts.
Oh, pain.
Exactly. So, Gen V definitely my pick for the MVP of this
Me too.
of this
Yeah,
series. At least.
unanimous, I guess.
Unanimously. Well, he's looking good so far, but the real battle is just about to begin.
Ah,
AEX going to the GPL less than 2 weeks. However, 4 out of 5 members without a passport yet. I mean, visa issues. These are some things that Philippine League of Legends have been struggling with. What do you think is the problem with this? I mean, shouldn't they have had passports to begin with?
I don't even understand, because history is going to repeat itself.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, when was the last time that something like this happened, right? If AEX don't get their passports done in time, it goes to IPT.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's happened before.
Maybe that was their plan all along.
That was the big plan, but this is the big play.
Is
This
it all
the big play.
according to Keikaku now?
Yes.
Yeah.
That
It's
was
all
planned.
according to plan. But I mean, the last time this happened was
Exile.
Exile against
Getting the
Pineski.
win, but couldn't make it.
Which
Yeah.
season was that?
3.
Season 3. So, I mean, these are not unknowns in
Yeah.
the Philippines. It's while my heart bleeds for them,
Mm-hmm.
you guys goofed. I mean,
You
there's
done goofed now. Yeah.
there's no coddling them.
There's no
you know?
excuse.
And
Like,
look at what the consequence could be, because when Exile didn't make it, like Pineski went to GPL, they got to Worlds. If you were Exile, what would you think? Like, I could have been that person. I could have been
Definitely.
that person in America right now, fighting against the best of the best. And that's what AX might think. Like, what if IPT goes to GPL and
Mhm.
IPT gets the ticket to Wildcard and then gets to Worlds? They would think,
oh.
Right.
oh,
It's happening again.
Right.
oh,
right.
ah.
Somewhere, Rebenga will be having hot flashes.
He'll just
Oh,
wake up in the
Rebecca.
middle of the night. Like,
Ah, exactly.
Again.
I mean, it's gonna be tough for them. I hope they can make it I mean, someone somewhere could probably expedite those passports,
Yeah.
but
I mean, they work so hard for this.
Definitely.
And for this piece of paper stopping them
definitely.
making this.
You
big
may be
tournament.
able to play League of Legends, but can you fight City Hall? Yeah.
the truest
I
of
mean,
battles.
they're gonna have to fight them, fight the halls of City Hall, and then they'll lose. At one point, they'll just be sitting on the steps together with the Congress
Yes.
bills. I love that cartoon.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll be rooting for AEX. We'll be keeping our eye on their story.
Yeah.
But that's it for us this week, though. GGG Gauntlet. Unbelievable work, guys. Next week, we'll be coming up with all of the other visa issues.
Oh yeah.
The visas is
So many visas.
So many visas.
So many issues.
So many issues afflicting every esport right now.
Yeah.
We'll be checking in with TNC, Execration, the Chinese teams for the International Six, and all of the other historic losses because of visa issues. That's next week for the GG Gauntlet. Thank you for joining us. Bye.